Hey guys,
Welcome to another episode of the
Legal Lowdown. This is your host,
Caleb Davis, and
Malachi Reed.
today we'll be going over criminal law and all of the things surrounding it.
All the things encompassing criminal law is what we're going to talk about in this
In this
segment,
episode,
guys.
yes, this episode. We'll see you soon.
Mens rea, actus rea. Alright, I got it.
Hmm. You're still buried in that pre-law stuff, Malachi? I thought you were taking a break.
Yeah, I was just trying to get ahead. I'm not gonna lie. This first unit, this unit is packed. We're starting to dive into different types of law, not just the history.
Yeah, like what?
Well, we've been covering criminal law. It's pretty intense, honestly. It's about the actions that are considered harmful to society as a whole, not just to like a singular person.
So, like breaking the law? That's criminal law?
Yeah, it's the government prosecuting someone for doing something illegal. And to prove someone has committed the crime, the prosecution has to show something called elements of a crime.
Elements like fire and water?
Not quite, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but think of it as like an essential ingredient for the prosecution that they need to prove. There are usually the two main ones: actus rea and mens rea.
Mm. Actus reus? Sounds like a spell.
Kind of. Actus rea is the guilty act, the actual physical act of committing a crime. Like if you want to steal something, the actus rea is the act of taking it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the action. I got it. What's the other one?
That's the mens rea, the guilty mind, the mental state of the person when they committed the act. Did they do it intentionally, recklessly, or negligently?
So if I accidentally trip and knock over a vase, that's not a crime because I didn't mean to.
Yes, exactly. You might have the actus rea, the vase was broken because of your action, but you act the mens rea. You didn't mean to actually break the vase. That's the key difference. The prosecution has to prove both actus rea and mens rea. I almost drew a blank, depending on the specific crime.
Huh. So it's not just about what you do, but what you were thinking when you did it.
Yep, and then within criminal law, we're learning about different categories of crime, like crimes against a person.
Sounds serious. Like hurting people?
Pretty much, there are these crimes that directly or threaten another person, like if it harms them or something. Think about things like assault, battery, kidnapping, and like homicide, murder, or manslaughter. Those are all crimes against a person. They involve the physical, direct, or psychological harm to another individual.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. What about like stealing a car? Is that a crime against a person?
No, that would fall under crimes
Mm.
against a property.
Oh, okay. So anything to do with damaging or taking stuff.
Right. Crimes against property involves interfering with someone's ownership or possession of their belonging, like theft, robbery, burglary,
Burglary.
burglary,
Burglary.
burglary,
Yeah.
arson, vandalism. Those are all examples. The focus is on the property itself, not directly on harming the person, although sometimes crime against property can also involve crime against a person, like in the robbery where someone is threatened.
So robbery is stealing, but with force or threat.
Exactly. That's why
Mm.
sometimes it can cross over. Burglary, on the other hand, is burglary. You see, how I did it right that
Burglary.
time.
You did.
I'm
You
cooking.
did.
Burglary, on the other hand, is entering a building illegally with the intent to commit the crime, usually theft. You don't necessarily have to take anything for it to be burglary, just the illegal entry and intent.
Man, there are so many different layers to this.
Tell me about it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And this is just the beginning. We haven't even gotten into the defenses yet or the court process.
You're really into this, huh?
Yeah, on the low, it's challenging, but it's also like really cool to see how the law is structured and how it all tries to deal with different things that can go in society.
Well, keep me updated. Maybe I'll actually start paying attention in class now that I know some of the basics. That's about all we got for today, guys. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this episode of the
Legal Lowdown.
We've been your hosts, Caleb Davis and
Malachi Reed.
next time we will be discussing torts and intentional torts and everything surrounding them.
Everything encompassing.
Yes. We hope you can join us for the next episode.
We really do.
Bye-bye.
Make sure to like, comment,
Bye.
subscribe.
And then turn on the post notifications.
Thank you guys. It's been a great time. Hope to see you on the next episode.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Peace and love.
Peace.